This video is brought to you by feedbands.com. Vote on independent artists that you like, and watch as the top voted artists get pressed to vinyl and sent to members. Give them a try and get any record from their archive for free when you sign up for a trial at feedbands.com/trial. I'm going to start this dose by saying that I don't really get art, and so, my opinions on it probably don't matter. I'd like to continue by saying that my opinions on everything don't matter. I just say them loudly and confidently, so you think they do. But, you're listening to me, so let's do this. If you watched my bad sushi equals cultural appropriation video, you already know my thoughts on cultural appropriation. But the TLDW version is this. Unless it's absolutely sacred to a culture, like, say, that dumb fuck that remixed the Muslim call to prayer, nothing is off limits. North America is a culture of cultures. We have nothing of our own, and have cobbled together a bunch of everything. And that's why we now have chicken balls and pepperoni pizza. It's why Canadian girls wear Uggs in the winter despite it being a summer shoe. And why 311 exists. Now, Americans, before you tune out, this is about something that happened in Canada, but it could have just as easily happened in the States. Our relations with natives are about as good as yours. Our history's pretty similar. People came here, took land, stuck natives on reserves, and then there was that whole residential schools thing that's pretty recent history. Suffice to say, they don't really think that the fact that we give them tax exemption quite squares shit away. I have no comment on that, but what I will comment on is this. An artist named Amanda PL recently had a gallery show scheduled, showing off some of her artwork at Visions Gallery. I said I don't know fuck all about art. This could be the most prestigious art gallery in Toronto, or a shit-stained shoebox out behind 7-Eleven. She refers to herself as a Canadian artist, and her artwork as postmodern woodlands art. I don't know what the fuck that means, but basically, she's inspired by a number of people, including native painter Norval Morrisseau. This didn't sit well with the native community. One native artist, Jay Soul, said this: "What she's doing is essentially cultural genocide, because she's taking his stories and retelling them, which bastardizes it down the road. Other people will see her work, and they'll lose the connection between the real stories that are attached to it. What she's doing is essentially cultural genocide." The irony of this whole statement is incredible, as he bastardizes the meaning of what the word genocide means. Amanda PL is basically Pol Pot by painting a bear in a similar style as a native artist. Didn't you know? Amanda says this: "I just tried to learn all I could about the Aboriginal culture, their teachings, their stories, and I've tried to capture the beauty of the art style and make it my own by drawing upon elements of nature within Canada that have meaning to me. I think it's a shame to say that an artist can't create something because they're not from that race. That's like saying any other culture can't touch something like abstract art unless you're white, or you can't touch cubism art." I don't think I've ever agreed with an artist in my lifetime. She's not flat out copying Morrisseau's art. She saw something she liked and wanted to create things in that style. Funny enough, later in life, Morrisseau created a famous painting called Indian Jesus Christ, after being inspired by seeing stained glass artwork, which some historians believe was discovered by the Egyptians and later improved upon by the Romans. He himself was inspired by the works of another culture. I don't imagine any galleries in the 70s were like, "This might upset white people. Don't you have some paintings of totem poles or eagles or a tomahawk or something?" So if this is really off limits, all art is off limits, I guess. Amanda brings up a good point. What about anything created by white Europeans? Quite a lot of Asian violin and piano players performing classical music pieces created by whitey. No one's pissed about that, and no one should be. For that matter, is Little Dicky performing cultural genocide by rapping? I mean, his music should probably be considered some kind of crime, but certainly not a hate crime. By Tuesday, they'd spoken to PL and offered her the chance to display another style of work, which she turned down. The gallery owners felt they had no choice but to cancel the exhibit. Can you fucking imagine how that call went? "Hey, so, you got anything a little whiter to show? 'Cause, yeah." Well, sorry she didn't rip off Andy Warhol like every other fucking 30-year-old wannabe artist. But this is what she was drawn to. It doesn't take anything away from the original art. And she's not pulling a fucking Rachel Dolezal and claiming she's a different race than she was born. She's just saying, I'm Canadian. I like this art style. I want to paint Canadian things in this style. Is it cultural appropriation? Sure. Everything is. And there's no need to apologize for it. But white artists, stick to drawing hamburgers and hot dogs and do it in the style of Gary Larson. That way, we won't offend anyone. Because my God, what would happen if someone was offended by art? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go look up who invented rant comedy and hope it was a white guy. Otherwise, I've spent the last 7+ years practically murdering a few million people and sticking them in mass graves.